Hey there, it's me Eden. Welcome to Crossdressing Adventure Stories. Today I'm going to share with you cross-dressing adventure story called Crossdress to Win Beauty Contest, Part 2. So, if you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing and please support my work, and buy me a coffee worth $1 only. Support link in the pinned comment, thanks. The shape through the glass approached the door and opened it. "Steve," exclaimed Anita. "You're early." "Yes, I'm sorry," I mumbled. "It's the way the trains run." "It doesn't matter. Come on in. Nikki's here already." I looked longingly at Anita before moving. I didn't often see her out of school uniform. She was wearing an old pair of jeans and a gypsy top that hugged her tight across the bosom before falling loose to her waist. "Come on," she urged. I stepped into the hall, and she led me off to a room on the right. It had a sumptuous blue carpet, and a leather settee and chairs. Nikki had been sitting on one of these, but stood up as I entered the room. "Hi, Steve. You're keen. It's not even a quarter yet." "Yes. The trains." I began to explain, but decided that it was too complicated to bother. "Well, it doesn't matter," Anita repeated. "We can get started early." "Yes," agreed Nikki with obvious delight. "We were just going to go through the rules," Anita explained, sitting on the settee. "Sit yourself down, Steve," she said, motioning next to her. I did as I had been asked, and we both looked at Nikki, who was holding 3 or 4 sheets of paper with the school crest on the top. "I picked these up on Thursday, after you agreed to enter," she explained. "I put the entry form in at the same time. I hope you don't mind." I assumed the question was directed at Anita, but she turned towards me as well. No," I answered after a delay. "Why should I mind? Perhaps I would find out later." "Good," Nikki continued. "Now let's see about these rules." She arranged the papers she had been holding, and began to read from one. "The contest will be in 2 parts." "We knew that," Anita interrupted. "Yes," continued Nikki. "A qualifying round, and the final." "We knew that too." "Well, here's a bit we didn't know," continued Nikki. "For the qualifying round, contestants will be expected to parade in school uniform." "Girls' school uniform," Anita giggled. "Yes," agreed Nikki. "Marks will be awarded for posture, adherence to the uniform rules, and to general beauty." "Posture?" I queried. "Yes," explained Anita. "It means how well you walk, and how you carry yourself." "That's right," Nikki agreed, nodding. "And it sounds as if they intend to be quite strict. Listen. Marks will be deducted for every item deviating from the school uniform rules." "Wow," exclaimed Anita. "That is tough. I'm not sure I even know what the uniform rules are." "Well, I do," Nikki said, smiling. "I got hold of a copy so we can make sure we stick to them." "Oh, well done. But there's a couple of caveats to that," Nikki went on. "A couple of what?" I asked. "Caveats. It means exceptions to the uniform rules for the sake of the contest." "Oh, I see." Contestants will be allowed to wear modest amounts of makeup and jewelry. Nikki continued. "Oh good," exclaimed Anita. "It would have been awful if we hadn't been allowed to put some makeup on him." "Yes," agreed Nikki. "And the other caveat is this. For the purpose of this contest, the rule allowing girls to wear trousers as an alternative to skirts or the school summer dress is suspended." "I should think so too," Anita exclaimed. I shuddered. That rule had only been passed the previous summer. It would be awful if they could get away with wearing trousers for this. "Yeah," Nikki agreed. "Well, that sounds easy enough to understand. What about the final?" Anita asked. "Well, it says that the top 10 contestants from the qualifying round will be asked to take part in the final that afternoon. Contestants will be expected to wear formal outfits and will be asked a range of questions by the judges." "What's a formal outfit?" I asked. "A posh long dress," Anita explained. "You know, like you'd wear to a really posh restaurant." "I never go to really posh restaurants," I muttered. "Well, I'm sure we can find you something suitable," Nikki said encouragingly. I shrugged. "I'm not sure there's any point. I'm not likely to make it past the first round." "Oh, you will," they both exclaimed simultaneously. "You must." "Yeah, how well you do is going to reflect on Nikki and me." I looked at Anita with a lack of comprehension. She continued, "Oh, honestly, Steve. People will know who helped you get ready, won't they? If you look at the right dog, they'll think it's because Nikki and I know nothing about makeup and clothes." "That's right," agreed Nikki. "So we're going to make sure you look as good as you possibly can. Aren't we, Nikki?" "Yes," she exclaimed enthusiastically, staring across the room at me. She picked up the papers and began to read again. "In the final, marks will be awarded for general appearance and beauty, poise and deportment, and the ability to answer the questions in an appropriately feminine way." "Oh well, we'll have to get you to practice answering questions as well then," observed Anita. "Does it say who the judges are going to be?" "Yes, it does somewhere. Hang on. Oh, here we are, there's 3. Miss Underwood." "The games teacher?" Anita asked. "Yes. Miss Williams, she's a new English teacher, I think. And Liz Lee." "Liz?" "Yes. I paid some attention to this. Liz Lee was the captain of the school's athletic team. Tall and blonde, she was somewhere just further down my list of desirable women than Anita." "All women," I observed. "Well, yes," agreed Nikki. "But it's only right, really. They're better placed to judge in a way." "Yes," agreed Anita. "Anyway, you wouldn't want blokes looking at you to judge how beautiful you were, would you?" Both girls giggled at this, and I shuddered at the thought. "Well, now we know the rules, perhaps we should get started," Anita suggested. "Well, we could go through the uniform rules," Nikki said. "Maybe, but I thought we should get his makeup sorted first. We can bother about the details of the uniform rules when we get on to his costume." "Okay," agreed Nikki, nodding. I was led from the sitting room over to the dining room table, where the chairs were higher. This, Anita explained, would make it easier for them to put my makeup on. Nikki produced a large brown bag, which to me looked as if it were made out of some sort of carpet material. She unclipped its wooden handles and started rummaging around inside. "Well, we'd best start with some foundation," she announced, producing a large white tube from the bag. "Yes," agreed Anita, and Nikki unscrewed the top of the tube and squeezed it, producing what looked like pink toothpaste. "Right," she said, "let's see what we can do." I was a little disappointed. For some reason I had hoped that if I had to wear makeup, then Anita would be putting on for me. This thought was pushed out of my head as Nikki began to smear the pink stuff all over my face. "You've got quite a nice complexion anyway," Anita said. I was unable to look at her to acknowledge the compliment as my face was squished around under Nikki's ministrations. "Yes, he has," Nikki agreed, continuing to smear and getting some more from the tube onto her fingers. "Nice and smooth, and not too spotty." "No, it's good," Anita said, and I caught a glance of her staring intently at my face. It was almost a dream come true. "Well, that should do for starters," Nikki eventually declared, and both she and Anita looked with critical interest at my face. "It feels a bit greasy," I volunteered. "It's okay, once you get used to it," Anita said dismissively. "Anyway, it's worth it for the effect." "Yes," Nikki agreed. "Right, now for a little bit of blusher." She put the foundation tube back into the bag, and after some searching, produced a small tub. "Let's see if we can highlight your cheekbones a bit." She began to rub some dark pink cream into my face, taking some considerable care. "He's got a nicely shaped face," Anita observed, still staring intently at me. "Nice high cheekbones, and quite a narrow face." "Yes, just like a girl," Nikki added, laughing. Anita smiled too. I can't say I was too pleased to be told I had a girl's face, especially with Anita listening, but I put up with it for the time being. "How does that look?" Nikki asked, after some more application. "Wonderful," enthused Anita. "Steve, you really have got a good face for makeup." The girls giggled at this revelation, and I scowled back. "Don't look like that," Anita insisted. "It's a compliment." "Yeah," agreed Nikki. I was a little mollified by the idea of Anita paying me a compliment, and the scowl disappeared from my face. "That's better," Anita congratulated me. "Now," she said, turning to Nikki, "what's next?" "That's all for now. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Oh yes, next part of this series will be published soon. So, please subscribe to my channel and please support me worth $1 only. Link in the comment and description.